Good morning. My name is Abib Wahab, and today I'll be taking us through step-by-step demo on how to help our registrants sign their domain. February 2026 this year, we announced that .ng zone has been signed. .ng zone has been equipped with DNSSEC. What that means is that for every signed domain on our registry is now trusted and can be validated to the root. So we are making this video to show us help our registrant sign their domain. So I'm going to go straight into the demo. But before I do that, I'd like to take us through some of the basic DNSSEC terminologies we have here. Okay, so the first one we have there is zone signing key. We all know that DNSSEC runs on cryptographic technology. And we all know that every domain name has list of records. A record, quad A record, MX record, CNAME record, and the likes. So we use zone signing key, this crypto key, ZSK. We use this key to sign every individual records associated to that domain. So that is what we use ZSK for. The next we have on the screen is KSK, key signing key. So after signing all the records with zone signing key, what we do is we add additional layer to the zone signing key itself. So we bond to sign all the records together with the zone signing key with KSK. So KSK is additional wrap of security to the ZSK. That's apart from the fact that we use KSK to add additional layer to some ZSK. We also use KSK to generate a delegation signer record. We'll talk about that shortly. The next is DNS key, the combination of public versions of ZSK and KSK. When we get to the troubleshooting part of this video, I'll run command, just like you see on the screen, to show us what it looks like, what DNS key looks like for ZSK and for KSK. The next is the delegation signer. Delegation signer is one-way hash form of KSK. Okay, so after after signing ZSK with our KSK, we then use KSK to generate this delegation signer. Delegation signer is just a hash form, one-way hash form of KSK. It's still KSK, but it's just that it's hash. And then again, so this delegation signer is what we take to what we import in Coca to complete that chain of trust for that particular domain. All right. So and the last we have there is resource record signature. So like I mentioned, that every domain has a record, quad A record, and all that. So after signing them with ZSK, we generate something we call resource record signature. Every record, A record will have its own signature. MS record sitting with that domain will have its own signature. So all those records we have their individual sets of records. If you have multiple A records for a particular domain, every individual A record will have its own signature. So that is what this RR6 stands for. We'll talk about that. I'll show us when we get to the actual domain. All right. For us to be able to assist our registrants sign their domain, what are the prerequisites? What are things we must have handy? The very first one we must have is that we must have access to the DNS hosting platform. Wherever we are hosting the registrant platform, the registrant must have access, or on behalf of registrants, we must have access to that platform. Why we need to have access, we'll talk about that. Basically, it's just for us to be able to access all these keys, all these DNSSEC parameters that we've talked about. Another thing we need to have handy is we need to have provider support DNSSEC signing parameters. If we are hosting our domain with Cloudflare or we have it on cPanel, we must make sure that we have all the DNSSEC parameters. All right. So again, so whatever platform we host our domain, we must also ensure that the platform must be able to generate DNS key and must be able to generate DS record for that particular domain. And then lastly, as registrar, we must make sure we have admin access to Coca, where we can access the registrant domain and assist them upload all their domain DNS record. So these are prerequisites we need to have, Andy. For this demo, what I've been able to secure for this demo is Cloudflare and the Coca platform. So I'll be showing us from the Cloudflare platform how we generate the key, how we move the key to the Coca platform, and I also use some external third-party tools to show us how to validate the chain of trust for this domain. All right, I'm going to walk us through the steps now. The very first thing we need to do is to make sure that we log into the platform where the domain is being hosted. And then when we get there, we ensure that we enable DNSSEC for that particular domain. I'm going to take us through my Cloudflare environment where I have the domain that I want to sign. All right, so this is my Cloudflare environment. I have two domains here. This register.ng has been signed. I have a nick.net.ng, which has not been signed. And this is what I'm going to use for this demo. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the domain itself. And then this is what I'm going to see on Cloudflare. You get the same experience if you use other third-party platform to host your domain, be it cPanel or Azure. So basically, what we are looking for here is to go to DNS and go to DNS settings. When we get to DNS settings, then we see DNSSEC. This is where we enable DNSSEC. So if we follow the this guide that we're using here, so we log into the platform, we go to DNS settings and the DNSSEC, and what we do here is to enable DNSSEC. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I've logged into my platform, I've clicked the domain that I want to sign, and I'm on the domains DNS settings. And here I see DNSSEC. So what I'm going to do is to enable DNSSEC. So I'm going to go ahead and enable DNSSEC. It's going to take a while for these to generate. And then so here I have all the records generated automatically. The platform generates all this record for me. Here I have my DS record that I've talked about. I have my digest. I have my digest tool. I have my algorithms. I have my public key. I have my key tag, and I have my flag. So I'm going to come back to these records. Okay, so what I need to do is to show us the next stage. After we have enabled and generated all the keys, the next step we need to follow is the retrieve DS record parameters. So from the step above, from what we have done, we key tag. If you go back, you see the key tag here. Okay. We'll be needing algorithm. So algorithm 13, algorithm is mentioned here. We need the digest type 2. Digest type 2 is SHA is mentioned here. And then the digest itself is mentioned here. So these are all the informations we need to be able to sign the registrant domain. So after getting all these parameters, the next thing we need to do is to submit all these parameters we've talked about, is to take all these parameters to Coca and submit them. How do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to take us to, as a registrar, I'm going to take us to the platform. This is Coca platform. So what we need to do here is to log in as registrar. And this is my environment. Your environment is going to look the same, pretty much the same as what you're seeing on my screen. Basically, what we need to do is to grab that domain that we are trying to sign. The domain that we are trying to sign is nic.net.ng. That's the domain we are trying to sign. Search for the domain. Okay. We just search for the domain. And here we have the domain. We click on the domain. So this is the interface for the domain itself. So if you follow this guide, you'll see that the next we need to do after searching for the domain, right? After looking for the domain, we need to now locate DS record. So under this domain interface, we locate the DS record. The DS record is on your right-hand side of your screen. We click that. And this is where we input all those informations from Cloudflare, right? So here we need to key in the key tag. So we go to Cloudflare, we copy the key tag, we copy it here, we drop it here, paste. The algorithm here, if you recall, the algorithm here is algorithm 13, right? So on Coca, we pick algorithm 13, which is this one here, number 13. Okay, number 13. So the next is the digest type. The digest type from Cloudflare is SHA-256, and that is exactly what we need to pick here as well. So we have SHA-256, SHA-384. Those are the two options we have on Coca. But from Cloudflare is saying that we should go for SHA-256, and that's what we are going to pick here. So the next is the digest itself. We come back to Cloudflare. This is the digest. We just need to copy, lift it like that, and drop it here. Okay, we copy it there, we paste it here. And once we are done, basically we just click on the add DS record. Coca is going to add this, and it's saved for that particular domain. We see our key tag, we see our algorithm, we see the digest type, we see the digest itself here, which is the one-way hash form of our KSK. And this is the data inputs this information. All right, so this is all we need to do as registrar. And as registrant, this is all they need to do by just generating all these DNSSEC parameters and confirming them. That's all they need to do. All right, let's refresh our page. Okay, so we've refreshed this page, and this is what we are getting from Cloudflare for this particular domain. So what we need to do here is just to wait for max an hour for the platform to synchronize, for Cloudflare to recognize that the DS record has been uploaded to the registry. So we are going to wait, and we're going to come back after 1 hour. All right, so we've gone through this stage. We've waited for almost 1 hour. And then if I go back to Cloudflare and I refresh this page, we can see that Cloudflare is telling us that success nic.net.ng is protected with DNSSEC. So meaning the DNSSEC has been enabled on this domain. The process of signing domain has been completed. It's success. All right, so next is how do we validate? How do we check that what we have done is actually working? There are a couple of ways to approach this. We have a lot of tools online, and we can as well use console dig command to verify all that. But I would like to start with this online tool, which we can access via dnsec-debugger.verisignlabs.com. So basically, what these tools will do is to run some background scripts to check the validity of that domain. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to paste the domain here and then hit enter and see what the result looks like. All right, so this is the dots. We all know that the dots stand for the roots. The roots, it's saying that the root is signed. Everything about that ng is fine at the root level. You scroll down to the domain itself. Everything about the domain is fine. We have the DS record. This is the DS record we imported in Coca. We have it here. We have all those informations about the DS record. And then the informations about where we are hosting the domain, all that is validated. So meaning this is validated domain is DNSSEC enabled, is DNSSEC fine. If you are not getting these results, you just need to continue to just continue to hit enter, and then this will continue to run. All right, so this is one of the tools we use to verify the validity of domains, and this is showing that the domain itself it's actually verified and signed. Another tool we use, another online tools we use is this transitive trust checker. So same way, you paste the domain, we hit submit, and then this is pretty much going to analyze the chain of trust for the particular domain. It's going to start analyzing from the root itself to the registry and then to the domain itself. So you just need to take your time to enlarge and begin to analyze the chain of trust here. If I zoom in, we'll see nick.net.ng here, and we'll see that it's hosted with Cloudflare. This is cloudflare.com, and then these are associated secondary name servers for Cloudflare, right? That is not where we're going. So where we're going is .ng. So under .ng, we see all our secondary name servers. We have, like I said, DNSSEC caching validation takes pretty much a long time, highest 1 hour. Sometimes it can take more than that. So we use these tools also to understand the chain of trust, as you can see here, but pretty much we focus on use this one a lot. Okay, so another tools I want to show us here is using a dig command. All right, to validate the status of our domain. So here I have my Linux environment. I have Ubuntu installed here, and I have a dig installed. So pretty much what I'm going to do is to run this command dig DNSSEC, the domain, the target, the domain name. And I'm pointing it to public DNS server. This is a resolver, and I want to see what's going to be the output of this query. So if I run this, what am I looking for? I'm going to be looking for AD flag. And at the same time, I'm going to be looking for status no error. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. This is the output after running the command. I see my status as no error, and I see the flag. I see AD authenticated data. That the information about this domain is actually fetched from the authoritative server, confirming that this domain is signed. And if you pay attention, you see nick.net.ng as a record, this A record. And this is the RR-seq for the A record. This is signature for the RR. Like I mentioned to you that every records must have its own individual signature. So this is the signature for the A record here. What are a couple of other things for us to check? if I go back and I do DNS key, or if there is any problem, why we cannot validate, um, basically we just need to run this same command again. We run this command, and instead of us seeing no error, we'll see an error status server failed, which is covered here in this guide. We'll see server fail. Instead of seeing no error, we'll see the server fail here, and then we'll not see AD authenticated data in the flag. So with that, we can as well still use this tool to verify if if the domain is validated or not. If I am to use any random, if I use any random domain name here, just to show us what we may likely see. Let's say we use NOC this one. I know this domain doesn't exist. We just want to use it to test, and let's see what the output will look like. And this is where it's going to stop. This is where it's going to stop. Even for our domain as well, it's going to stop here. But in this case, we're going to see server fail instead of NX domain. Let's go back to our guide. So after going through all these steps, how do we roll back in case we're no more interested in signing the domain? To roll back is pretty much straightforward as covered in this guide. So what we just need to do is just to log into our Coca platform, remove the DS record, save the changes, and pretty much we have a rollback that way. To do that is go to the registry, we delete the entire DS record, we save, and we allow the registry to populate the information across all the secondary servers and across internet, and that is how we roll back to unsigned domain. Okay, pretty much I've covered everything regarding how to help our registrants sign their domain. If you still encounter any problem, feel free to reach out to us. This is our support line, our support email address. You can reach us on this number, and you can as well use our MetaMouse to reach us. We'll be glad to help you. Thank you very much.